What's up guys, Blizzard Productions here, back with another video, and today I am doing what I have been doing for a while now, which is I am predicting each NFL outcome for every NFL game. So every NFL game that's happening this week, I am coming up with the outcome and predicting like who I think is going to win and why. So with that being said, I really enjoy making these, and the Niners, they're not playing this week, so that's something that I'm a little bit happy about because I don't really like talking bad about my team if I say that they're going to lose. So having them on a bye, I'm just concentrating on seeing every other NFL game and not just the one game, which is the Niners. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Starting off, we had the Colts at the Patriots, and I had this being a pretty close game, but in the end, I had the Patriots coming away with the win. The Patriots are probably the better team. They have Bill Belichick as their coach, and not only that, but they're coming off a pretty decent and really good win last week. Also, it is a home game for them, so the rowdy Patriots fans are going to create some problems, I think, and some false starts for the Colts. And also, speaking of the Colts have also just came off a loss by 1 point, allowing a really big drive and a really big play to end the game against the Washington Commanders. So they ended up losing against the Washington Commanders, so I don't see it being any different and any better going against the Patriots. Moving on, we had the Packers at the Lions, and believe it or not, I had this being a pretty close game, but the Packers coming away with the win in the end. I don't really feel strong, though, about picking the Packers this week because they have came off 3 losses and 2 being ones that they really should have won. So with that being said, the Lions have also really been struggling, and as much as I like Dan Campbell and I like the Lions, they just are not doing good this year at all. And so, unfortunately, I don't think that they're going to get their second win of the season against the Packers. I really hope that they do, but I think that the Packers have the better team, and Aaron Rodgers is really hungry for a win. Moving on, we had the Chargers at the Falcons, and I have this game being pretty good and pretty close until half, and then the Chargers coming away with the win by about 2 touchdowns. I think that the Chargers' offense is way better. The defense is okay. I haven't really been seeing the Chargers' defense, and I really haven't been seeing the Falcons' defense that much either, but I do know that both teams' defenses are kind of mid right now. So with that being said, I think it's going to come down to offense. And I think the better offensive team is the Chargers. And Justin Herbert is really good in my opinion. And I think that he'll come away with the win today. Moving on, we had the Bills at the Jets, and oh my gosh, I can't wait to watch this game. I think it'll be a really good game, but the Bills are going to come away with the win in the end. I can't remember the last time I have ever thought that Jets game against teams as good as the Bills this year was going to be a really good game, and I can't wait. But the Jets this year are surprisingly really good. Their defense is pretty good, and then their offense is also showing some really good signs. And I do know that they lost last week, but that doesn't take away from the good season that they're having right now. And as for the Bills, they just on offense have just so much weapons, and then on defense too, Von Miller has been causing lots of problems right now as far as for the offensive opponents. So with that being said, I have the Bills coming away with the win. Moving on, we had the Vikings at the Commanders. The Vikings are 6-1 this season, and the Commanders are 4-4, and I think that the Vikings are going to come away with the win. I believe that they're the better team. The way they win games is not pretty at all, but they still always somehow come away with the win, and I don't think that's going to change here. I think that the Commanders are going to get off to a very early lead, and then as the game progresses on, the Vikings are going to start to crawl back in and then end up winning the game in the end. Moving on, we had the Panthers at the Bengals, and the Panthers are coming off a really, really tough loss, but the Bengals, I think, are going to win in this one. The Panthers, like I just said, came off a really bad loss and a really tough loss. They should have won that game, but their kicker missed the extra point that could have stopped them from going into overtime, and then when they went into overtime, all they had to do was kick a field goal, and it was like 30 yards out, and their kicker still missed. So with that being said, it's a really tough loss, and I think that the Panthers are really eager to go ahead and come back. I think that they're a better team now that they have fired Matt Rule, but I still do think that the Bengals are the better team and Joe Burrow is going to win. Moving on, we have the Raiders at the Jaguars, and I have this actually being a blowout victory for the Jaguars. The Jaguars, I believe, are the better team. They're definitely exceeding expectations coming into this season. And as for the Raiders, they are just way under the expectations that were given to them coming into the season. They have not played well at all. And then as for the Jaguars, they are coming off a loss, but it's very confusing for the Jaguars. Some days they can have really, really good games, and some days they can have really bad games. But I think in this game, they're going to have a good game, and the home crowd is going to have a blast. Moving on, we had the Dolphins at the Bears, and I had this actually being a pretty good and a close game, but I think that the Dolphins are going to come away with the win in the end. They just have a lot more weapons. They have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, and then their quarterback, Tua, is really good in my opinion. And so with that being said, the Dolphins, I think, are the better team. And then not only that, but then on the other side, the offense for the Bears is not really good. The defense is really good, but in order to win the game, you kind of need your offense to do good as well. And Justin Fields, I just don't think is that good right now, and he doesn't have as much weapons to throw to. So with that being said, I had the Dolphins winning in this one. Moving on, we had the Seahawks at the Cardinals, and I believe that this game is also going to be another really good game, but the Seahawks are going to unfortunately come away with the win. The reason why I say unfortunately is because I'm a Niners fan, and so I want to see the Seahawks lose. That way they're not as far ahead in the NFC West. So now, with that being said, I think that the Seahawks are still going to win because Geno Smith is actually a really good quarterback. He might be better than Russell Wilson right now. Actually, I think he is. He's really good at passing. He's really good at getting out of pressure. And then as for the Seahawks defense, though, they need to do a little bit better against Kyler Murray because Kyler Murray is definitely a mobile quarterback. So if he can run, he will run, and he will damage you with how fast he can run. So with that being said, I have this being a really close game, but in the end, the Seahawks winning. Moving on, we have the Rams at the Buccaneers, and I had this being a pretty decent game. Both teams, though, have been underperforming, but I think that the Rams are going to win in this one. I think that the Rams are a little bit better than the Buccaneers. Both teams, though, are 3-5 right now. I don't want to see the Rams win because if the Rams lose, then that means that the Niners will be still in front of them. But if the Rams win, then I believe that the Rams will be tied with them as far as record. So with that being said, if the Rams lose, I'll be happy, but I don't think that they will because they have been losing way too much to be that good of a team. So, with that being said, I think that the Rams are going to be hungry for a win, but also the Buccaneers are really hungry for a win. They haven't won in, 3-4 weeks? So they are definitely really hungry for a win, but I see the Rams coming away with the win in the end. Moving on, we have the Sunday Night Football game, the Titans at the Chiefs, and I have this being a blowout victory for the Chiefs. The Chiefs are just a way better team, and also they're playing at Arrowhead, their home field. So with that being said, all those rowdy Chiefs fans are definitely going to cause a lot of false starts to happen on the opposing side. So with that being said, I have the Titans kind of hanging in there in the first half, and then the second half, it's just going to be all Chiefs. And with that being said, I have the Chiefs winning in a blowout victory. And last but not least, we had the Monday Night Football game, the Ravens at the Saints, and I have this being a decent game, but the Ravens coming away with the win in the end. The Ravens, I think, are just the better team. Lamar Jackson is definitely a really good quarterback. He is definitely very mobile, and when he's put under pressure and he sees a hole, he will run for a lot of yards. And so with that being said, I have the Saints kind of staying in there for a little bit, and then they're just going to start to get a little bit sloppy and messy and just give the ball to the Ravens a whole bunch more, and the Ravens just keep capitalizing on those little mistakes that the Saints are going to make, and in the end, the Ravens coming away with the win. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I enjoyed making it. And tell me in the comment section down below if you agree or disagree with any of my picks and why. I'm sure by the time you guys comment, these games would be long gone and have already had the outcome. But still, if you just know the score or outcome, tell me that I'm wrong and tell me why and stuff like that. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.